Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium, numerologist, healer, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there is always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Psychic Hour on Sacred Spiral Network. Hello. It's great to see everybody today. We have the wonderful spiritual medium, Jennifer Rose, on today. So we're going to be having her on in just a second. We're going to be taking questions about spiritual development, whether it's psychic, mediumship, healing, life questions, and a little bit later into the show, we might be doing some card pulls or some connections. It's however the natural flow goes. All right. So I want to say hello to everybody coming on in. Hello. Hey, friend. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Jennifer. I love to see all the hellos. You know, can't deny hellos. So everybody come in. Thank you. The topic of the day, we always have one to open up the energy, is about the energy of authenticity. And we all are souls on this planet. And when we're really living from the heart. Whether we are fully conscious of it or not, we're pulled in all these different directions. And sometimes we go, why did I show up here? What led me to this person? What led me to this situation, whether it was good or bad? And there was something within your energy that made sure you arrived at that moment. Now, the more conscious we are and aware of ourselves that we can really merge with our authenticity and radiate forward. And people do feel it off of us because we are aware in the choice. We are aware with what our spirit chooses. Now, when we're not sure what's going on, spirit will make sure that we arrive again at certain places. But when we graduate, and we're always graduating because we might be a rock star in relationship, we might be a rock star at work or with family, and at times we might not be. So there's days and seasons and years where we feel very scattered in some departments. Like, that's the spiritual journey. We really, when we're centered, can go, I'm doing this from a place of what I know within me that this is the right decision. And sometimes authenticity is actually really sad. Sometimes it's like, no matter what I do, I'm not getting what I need. I'm not getting what I need, and I know what I need. So I have to say goodbye to these people, or I have to put up my boundaries. I have to end a relationship. I have to make myself not as accessible to family. I have to end some friendships. And that's very devastating. Like, when it comes to our soul ties and our soul connections, it's very devastating. When we start to understand that the people around us, the situations or places or partnerships cannot hold our vibration, that we are so very different. And when we merge and try to operate from that vibration with the people that we love or the people that we're close to, or again, it could be a job, whatever situation, we go, my vibration is being rejected. My vibration is being misunderstood. My vibration is not being accepted. My vibration is having difficulty thriving or even surviving where I am. They're not meeting me. Why is it so much work? Why is there so much personal sacrifice on my part? Why, when I share my heart, I feel like they're tuning me out? They're blocking me out. They're not listening. They don't care. And they really just can't come from the same place. You might see that over time. You might see that at the first meeting, you're like, oh, this person's not on my wavelength. Whoa, okay, I hope they have a great day. This person's not on my wavelength. You might know that about family, even like, whoa, every time I see my aunt or my uncle or my cousin or even my brother, my sister, wow, we do not get along. Right? And you kind of have to embrace some situations with humor. Not everything can go the way that would be nice. It would be nice to get along with people. It would be nice with the people even that choose us, for things to be swimmingly, right? If you're in a relationship with somebody, or want to be, you go, well, we both like each other. We're both attracted to each other. We're both vibing each other. Why can't it just go well? We seem to have some of the basic components. And really, in the vibration of authenticity, you would know, wow, it's not exactly on the same wavelength. And you can bring awareness to that. And when you bring awareness to that with the people around you, what is the reaction? Are they eager to change? Are they eager to hear what you have to say? And this could be about spiritual development too. Like, you could be open to spirit and they are just like, don't believe in it, mumbo jumbo. And some people, they don't believe, but they go, let me hear you. Let me understand you. I care about you. Let me listen to what you're saying, even though I have no, prior knowledge how I can really connect to this. But since I love you and we are of a similar vibration enough, let me open my mind and my heart to you. And you can get somewhere with that. You can get somewhere with someone being humble too. Like, I don't know what maybe you're saying or where you're coming from, but I admit I don't know everything. And from the heart center or from the spirit center, I believe in you enough where I'm going to try. Okay. So there's a vibration that comes in where if a person goes, yes, yes, I can feel like this is important. Let me try. Let me open up my energy. From you holding your space and holding your ground and saying, this is who I am. And I don't do that to shove you away or say, I'm never going to change this. This is who I am. I believe in spirit, or I believe in these principles. I believe in these values. I believe that this is important when I say these words. If you hold your ground of authenticity, you will see how someone responds to where your vibration is at. And based on that, you have to sometimes be very compassionate or make hard decisions with how you're going to continue to hold your vibration, how you can continue to live your life, what job you're going to have, what friends you're going to have, what relationships you're going to have. How can you thrive in your authenticity as a spirit? How can you thrive within your life as a person, as a human, and be supported? And at least be able to be free enough where you can say what's on your mind and you can have people who support you, listen to you, or at least can be there with you on some level where you say, thank you for being with me. Thank you for trying with me. Thank you for acknowledging me. You don't have to have everything in place for someone to accept you, but you can have pieces and you can say, thank you for your part of your vibration for showing up for my part that I'm sharing with you. And as long as those pieces are in place and as long as someone's trying and cares about you and shows up in some way, a part of the vibration is matching your vibration. If someone is not showing up, if someone is not listening to you, if someone is not connecting to you actively and is just like, oh, whatever you're gonna do. Okay, I can't control it. I'm just gonna let you do you. It's like they wash their hands of you, or they put their hands up, or they go, I'm not feeling it. I need my space. Their vibration is saying to your vibration, their spirit is saying to your spirit, we're not an energetic match when it comes to this. Now, is that everything within your life with them? Is that everything within your job, your environment, with how you're living as a soul? Some of these questions are going to start to percolate. So continue to maintain your vibration. Continue to maintain what is important to you and what you know within your heart you need, whether you write it out, whether you speak it. Just continue to be you and see what starts to happen around you. It might be great things, it might be difficult things, but maintain your authenticity, and that's going to keep you where you need to be going as a soul. It's going to be an interesting journey as a human, though. Yes, it always is. But maintain your vibration, maintain your authenticity. So, with that said, I'm going to say hello to everybody again coming on in before we bring in Jennifer. Lee, hello, Jackie, hello, Aspen. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you could resonate with the message. Thank you, Stacia. Hello. Everybody coming on in. Thank you. Hello, Tina. Hello. Okay. Everyone's feeling the vibes today, and whether that speaks to you directly or helps you to remember who you are in some way, that's why we talk. That's why we get the energy going. And when we bring Jennifer in as well, we're opening up the space for, again, whether it's your authenticity or other questions that come to the center on your journey, we're taking them and we're sharing what Spirit gives us along the way. So with that said, let's bring Jennifer Rose on in. Hello, you're muted really quick.
Hello, I made it.
Hey,
Hi, everybody.
it's great to see you. It's great to see you.
Yeah, we've got all our friends here today. I've got Stacia's here and Fran's here, Tina's here. So happy to see you. Oh, I am spiritual. Good for you. You're here too. Oh my God, look at all our beautiful friends. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Kelly.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
always
Hey,
wonderful to
Aspen.
have you. Yes, we'll leave her up because she's given us so much love. I want to give you a warm introduction, as we always do, to the lovely guests on our show. For everybody who knows Jennifer Rose, or if this is the first time you are hearing about her, Jennifer Rose serves as an international spiritual evidential medium, trance healer, and channel. She shares her gifts as a teacher, public speaker, transformational guide, writer, poet, and humanitarian, among her many passions. Jennifer's mediumship includes one-on-one, group audiences, spiritualist churches, and for charitable causes as well, to spread the awareness that life and love are eternal. She's known for her accuracy, love, and compassion when connecting with spirit. Teaching mediumship, healing, and spirituality are also additional passions of hers, helping her to help others discover and enhance their spiritual gifts and embrace their own unique way of working. Jennifer hosts the Love for Spirit Sunday spiritual service throughout the month, bringing spiritual communities together in celebration of spirit. She's honored to be a part of love, hope, and peace, and that she has gained through mediumship, healing, and spiritual development. Thank you so much for being on the show, Jennifer.
Thank you, Kelly. Really happy to be here.
Absolutely. So you have your own spiritual community that you've been building, and you have throughout the month, more than once, a spiritual service. Can you talk a little bit about that for people who want to learn about how to be a part of that too? Because that is such a wonderful thing that you do for people.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I started that back in 2020. And at first it was supposed to be in person, but then COVID hit so quickly right after that. So I ended up moving over to Zoom, which made it international. And I just wanted to start my own Sunday service, spiritually inclined nature, with mediumship and with healing and music and inspired speaking and poetry, just all of the beautiful ways that we can work with spirit, and just a place where everybody could come together. I just was seeing a lot of separation, especially during COVID, and just a place where we could all come together, no competition, just for love, just to be together, be in the love of spirit. And my goal, was to help people have a platform to kind of spread their wings and share their gifts, in a public way for a group, because that is not always easy to come by. And then hopefully when everybody leaves, they feel that touched by the spirit. So it's this little, light that kind of gets brighter inside of you. You feel like you've had a little spiritual massage, kind of like that. You're feeling, that love, and you've been touched. Even if you didn't get a message, you still get the healing or the inspiration from whoever is speaking. And then hopefully you have that feeling of love, because it's very healing. And then hopefully you spread it out to other people, because if we make you happy, then you're going to make somebody else happy. So it's a nice ripple effect too. So I have a lot of guest mediums that come on from different areas of the world. And I have my little angel team that is with me every time. Miss Debbie Romero and Melinda Oling and Fran Pierce and Nancy Muratala. And so we all work together as a beautiful team. And because it's a lot for one person to do. So it's nice to have an angel team. I call them my angel team. So every 2 weeks we're on, and it's donation based, and we support charities. I pick out a different charity for each service. So I'm always giving something back to the community and the world to kind of be part of that humanitarian effort as well. It's a non-denominational service, but it's very spiritualism inclined or modeled after. As a spiritualist, it started out in the roots of humanitarianism. So I like to keep that going and do my part to give back to the world too, because I do feel that we do ask spirit for help and for prayers, but we are spirit too. So that's why they're reminding us that we're part of the solution. It's what we do, every little part that we do together with those in the spirit world. That's what makes the biggest difference. So we all doing our little part.
Yeah,
So
for
thank,
sure. It's
thank
a
you.
big deal though, because it does give someone something to look forward to twice a month. And there
Yeah.
are so many people that gather, and I mean, speakers, mediums, poets,
Yeah.
healers. Yeah, it's a really beautiful
Yeah.
space.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I've had a lot of really generous feedback that everybody feels the love. So we've really done a good job as a team of staying in that loving, high vibrational loving space. And that is what creates that feeling. And that's kind of how is when you feel that sort of that expansion and that love in the atmosphere. That's how like, okay, this is the good stuff. This is where we want to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There's like a feeling that comes with that where you go, oh, gosh,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to ask, kind of in that vein, within raising your vibration, like the spiritual Sunday service for the love of spirit definitely naturally does that. What are ways that you raise your vibration and that you found that your vibration has been raised through this work?
Oh, that's a really good question. I do feel like from the highest perspective, because we are all spirit, we are always that highest vibration, but then here in this 3D reality, we kind of experience the highs and lows. Um, and nothing is bad or wrong. It's just kind of like different experiences. But we don't always want to stay in the low places forever either, because that's can be very taxing on our systems too. So it's like, try to lean into it, let it move through your system. So one way is really just to not go into resistance of what's wanting to be released through your system. um, but in addition to that, I've done a lot of sitting in the power. I love giving healing to people. I love helping people too. And then trying to take time to do nice things for myself. That's a little harder for all of us to do that sort of self care and nice things for us, but it actually does make a difference. Filling your own bucket up with your own light, not just spreading your light and love out to everybody else, but also filling it inside too. And that makes a big difference. And staying grounded is really, really important. It's not easy to do. I know you and me we're connected, and a lot of our friends who are watching, we're very connected. We're open channels. We're never separate from the psychic space. So it's a little harder to stay grounded for us, but it's really important so that we can integrate, all of those beautiful frequencies down here into us, and that allows us to be bigger healers or better healers, or may, I don't know if I want to use those words, but um, a channel for healing that spirit can work with on a bigger capacity. That sounds better.
Yes, no, absolutely. And when you are, let's say, going through your day and just, let's say, waking up, having coffee, you tell yourself, it would be nice to go for a walk, right? You did mention,
Yeah.
as a psychic and medium, it is more difficult to ground sometimes because you're aware of things. So I
Mhm.
think from people who are just starting to experience that, and they sometimes go, that can't be real. Or people who, let's say, don't have that experience, what does it feel like to be pulled in different directions? Or what does it feel like to be ungrounded? Or what does it feel like to have this energy coming at you at times?
It can cause a lot of anxiety. That's probably the hardest sort of negative out of it, or just, and it can cause confusion too. So that's why it really helps to, if you got too much going on up here, then what happens is the mind tends to really kind of just, and the mind is spirit too. It's just about maintaining balance, but the mind can go, kind of hog wild with all of the thinking and, things going on. And again, it's not wrong. It's still spirit too, but it's just about reminding us to get that balance too. So I do love going on my walks and being outdoors in nature and, connecting. I love taking pictures of, pretty flowers and trees and skies and things like that. And it helps me, also appreciate the here and the now and the present. And that gives me a lot of fulfillment. And also, just from a physiological perspective, because we're all very sensitive, empathic people here, our nervous systems are very acute to energy and to thoughts and emotions and all of that too. So from a physiological perspective, having some movement or doing breathing or meditating and calming the nervous system down helps to decrease those stress chemicals and hormones that are moving through your system too. So self-care is really, really vital, I think, for sensitive people and people who are really open channels, that we can do that for ourselves. Take the time to, try to eat healthy and, do your exercise and your breathing and your meditating. And it's a lot of work taking care of just yourself, let alone everybody else. But we have to. If we don't, it's like, if we don't take care of this, we have less to give to others too. So it's a big lesson for us all to learn, and a lot of people feel guilty doing that, but it's so important. Yeah.
I don't think people realize how easy it is to be scattered, and the more sensitive you become, because let's say you're using, you know, the parts of
Mhm.
you where you have to pick up on subtleties. So you have to
Yeah.
be in this world where you have to be paying attention to very, very subtle things that normally we would overlook in a heartbeat, that suddenly
Mhm.
you're just picking up do, 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 and it's
Mhm.
so easy not to be in our energy. So when we talk about, like, oh, like yoga, going for walks, healthy eating, people go, well, it must be nice. And it's like, no, that's the only way we can return back to taking care of our body and go, this is mine, let me strengthen this, because I'm pulled and pushed this way and that way.
Mhm. Yeah, very, very true. And it's a lot, because I can feel the world, and I can feel groups of people, and I can feel my friends, and sometimes I have conversations with friends and we find out we were both feeling the same emotion at the same time. So then we're like, chicken or the egg, who was it first? We don't know.
Yes.
But it's all beautiful, you know what I mean? It's all beautiful to have that connection, to have that opening to feel things. It's just magical and beautiful. So it's just a matter of, like, taking care of it and try to keep it in a harmony and keep it in a balance. And Christy's absolutely right. It's not selfish, it's self-preservation. We have, because our bodies are part of the spirit too. It's, some people just are like, oh, it's just flesh, you're gonna leave it. But no, it's animated with spirit. So we want to take care of us too. It's like there's a whole universe and things going on inside of us that we're not even aware of, it's completely magical. We're an internal portal just as an external portal. That's where the infinity comes along. And so you're absolutely right. But yeah, we feel so much, that but it's not bad. It's nothing we have to block out. It's just a matter of balancing it and taking care of it so that we know what to do. And we're not going to get it perfect all the time. And those of us, who go through lots of transformation, spirit can give us a whole lot of things all at once happening in our lives. Most people know, if they've had a spiritual awakening, things are going to start to change in their lives and their physical reality. There can be a lot of stress that happens all at once too. So you have to maintain the best you can, taking care of yourself so that the stress doesn't take over too. So Those are really, really important things. So yeah, taking care of you makes you the best for everybody else. And spirit, whenever I do healing meditations every week, and whenever I do them, spirit's always saying, you're giving us a gift if you let us give to you, so that people can be receptive, so they can open up to just receiving. Because a lot of times they want to, like, I want to give the healing too to other people, and which is perfectly fine if that's what they want to do. But spirit's like, can you please just let us give to you for a change, be receptive, because then you're giving a gift to us. So it's really win-win. And then we allow people to help us, to reach out for help, to accept help from other people. We're giving them a gift too, and yeah, we'll all be put in
Okay.
those positions where we need it just as much as we give it.
I'm saying hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Christy's awesome. Debbie was in here,
Yeah.
and then Melinda. And it's our our connection is a gift, and a lot of times it's funny because it sounds like a contradiction. It's like, are we too connected, and then we're fried, and then we're not feeling so great, and we're ungrounded, but then we're always trying to kind of ground ourselves so we can connect again, right? And it's just like woo, and really things just have to feel like we're present, we're aware, that we're in our power, right? As long as we're
Mhm.
in our power, I think things are okay. But a lot of us are really coming into understanding what is our power and what we're capable of, and understand really like what our energy is. And if we don't know that, and we're always learning more of that, we're dropping the ocean of that understanding. If we don't learn that, we're gonna all of a sudden be in a situation where you go, whoa, how did that happen? I don't like
Mhm.
this, right? I was just pulled here.
Yeah, there's always more. So even when we think we've learned something, how many times have we had a conversation with spirit, and been like, I already learned this lesson. Why are you giving this to me again? 'Cause
I'm a big fan of that.
they're,
That one.
they're, they're like, there's
Big
always
fan
more.
of
There's always a deeper. There's always deeper. They can always make you stronger. Hi, Debbie.
that. Yeah. Hey
There's
Debbie.
always, we
I
can make you even stronger. You thought you were steel. Well, we'll go for titanium. Oh my God.
I do feel like the spirit in the universe tests us to go, what are you really made out of?
Oh
Do
yeah.
you really believe it under every circumstance? Because we could believe, no, this is not the right energy for me with one person, and then we could get that in a different package. And it's just like, well, how about if it comes to you in this package? Are you really responding to the energy, or are you responding to other things within this person? So it's very, very interesting. I know, and I don't know how you feel, like Jennifer, and everyone has them. There's certain boundaries we have where you go, I'm not going to pertain this. And there's certain ones where we know really, really well. And there's certain ones where we go, oh, interesting. It seems that there's more aspects that I have to learn about this. It seems I'm still pertaining this to a certain degree. Right? So there's something inside us that is still like trying to understand what we think we shouldn't have. We're like, well, I'm not quite so sure about that.
Yeah, it's a continuous mystery and unfoldment, and there are always lines between lines and meanings between meanings, and it goes deeper and deeper into the layers. If you've ever, listened to music, a lot of us are probably music lovers, and we get a lot of messages from music, and you can listen to the same song 10 times and get 10 different stories kind of playing out in your psychic reality, because spirit works with us so that way too. But it's reminding us that there's always layers and layers and layers. And we are kind of actors on a stage because we're spirit being human right now too. And so if we get so locked into our human 3D reality, we forget that we're spirit, and then we believe like we believe everything to be as concrete as it appears in the moment, forgetting that there's an illusionary aspect to things, and that we change constantly. We're constantly transforming and evolving, and we have multi-dimensional aspects of self within us, and so does everybody else too. And so this is where it gets tricky, because things aren't always what they seem. We're so sure it's this way, and then it changes, and so that's why sort of being in the flow and kind of staying in the moment, and trying not to overanalyze everything helps with that too, because we forget that we are divine spirit, and the people who we are in relationships with, family, friends, children, partners, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And so, um, and it's funny, we talked about this, Kelly, too. Yesterday I was kind of using a different metaphor, but this morning when I was out walking and listening to Debbie and Louise early while I was out on my walk, and they were saying it's kind of like we're all our own song, full of meaning, full of parts, full of music, vibration and frequency and flow, and then everybody else is a song too. And when you connect with other people, you become a third song together, right? And so, but that's where it gets tricky, because then you have to learn each other's songs so that you can be a beautiful third song that's harmonizing, right? Finding that harmony. And I think it's something that is a very beautiful thing that spirit has offered to us, but it can be hard. It can be hard because we don't know how to learn each other's song, and it takes time and patience and open-heartedness and open-mindedness to do that, so that you can become in harmony as your third song together, which is part of God's big, grand opera, if you want to say. And so it's a matter of, we can learn to match in our frequency and our vibration, but it just takes a willingness and an open heartedness. And I really feel like on a human 3D level, everybody just wants to matter. Everybody just wants to feel safe. And so we just have to learn to communicate with each other in a way that we all feel safe and we know that we matter. And then all of those, you know, rear brain, defense mechanism, we all got our little swords out. We all are defending our perspective and our perception, which feels like it's the only real thing in the moment. It all just drops down, and then you're in that beautiful stillness, and then you've got the harmony again, finally.
It's about learning so many things on a spiritual level and a human
Yeah.
level, and going, am I aware of this? Am I aware of this part? And we can't be aware of everything, but we do, I guess, try to grow. And how much am I
Yeah.
aware of this relationship and what it does, and how I dance with this person and how they want to dance
Yeah.
with me? And I do think that, there's so many interesting things about being a human. I mean, sometimes we want to be loved and accepted so much that we start changing our tune so somebody will do that. Um, and then we go, where are we? Where are we in the universe? And how does this serve me? And who are my people? How do I just be so I can find my people and I can give to my people?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with changing, because we're always changing anyways, but it is a know thyself process too. So the more we know ourselves and who we are, and keep that continual discovery, and keep on, who was that part of me? We have our real core sense of self, but then we have all of these other aspects that kind of come in, and it's like on like a wardrobe, and we've got our favorite outfits right in the front. And then every once in a while, these ones from the corners come, we're like, whoa, who was that? Sometimes
Yeah.
it's fun, and then sometimes you're like, ooh, I don't want to wear that one. I want to put that one back. But then you have to get to know it. You have to get to know it. Why is it here? What's it trying to teach me? It's all trying to teach us something. Where did that come from? Is that a wound from the past that we could give some healing and finally let it come up to be seen? In the end, the light will just disguise itself as the dark, just so you will notice it and give it some attention sometimes, and then you go, oh, okay, I'm willing to take a look because you've kicked my ass here, and I'm going to have to, take a look at this, right? So we have to do all of that work within us, and staying grounded with ourselves too, and then try our best also to understand each other too. So it's all about trying to understand. So there's nothing wrong with changing, um, as long as it's not affecting our sense of self or our sense of self-worth, if that makes sense. Because we can find ways to compromise with each other and things like that. But where it gets to be unhealthy is when we're changing because we think everything's our fault. So if we have this low sense of self-worth, then we can we feel some control by changing to alter ourselves for other people, right? So that's where it gets a little tricky. But on the flip side, we do it all the time. We're not the same
Oh, yeah.
person. We're not the same person with different people. So I'm in this part of me with you. And then if I were to go to the store, I'd be a little bit different. I were to talk on the phone with somebody else, I would be a little bit different. We're constantly shifting a little bit based on our environment and who we're speaking to. So we're going to be much more open with people that we know and trust. And then we'll be a little more formal with other people. So we're always kind of shape shifting anyway. So it's just a matter of understanding that we're doing it and not compromising who we are, just to
Yeah.
feel loved by another person or just to feel accepted by another person. So that's kind of a rainbow. We go over the rainbow and we make that shift as we go through the awakening and process and learn more about us and come into ourselves more.
I think
Yeah.
that it's important, and I love the way you put it, like, what part of me is this? Because we are always changing. We really are. And we're we're meant to interact. Like it's going to be just a natural process of commingling, right? Where you're like, oh, well, like you're pretty silly, so now I feel silly, or wow, like you're really calm and
Yeah.
serious. Like, okay, like a part of me is influenced by that. And I
Yeah.
I do think, like, as long as we have awareness in what parts are coming out within ourselves, I think that's okay. I think sometimes people just all of a sudden don't know why they're being how they're being, and it can create sometimes um, just the spiritual bypass of, well, I guess I'm here, or I guess we're it's not a big deal, right? Like, I'm having fun, and it's just like, whoa, just, we all have to be responsible for what we're allowing and what we're becoming. I really do feel like,
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. And we have to kind of like meet each other and ourselves with where we're at. So if we come out of situations that are difficult for us or that didn't go well, we still have to kind of take our part in it. We can't completely blame the other person. It's all their fault. They did this to me. I'm the victim. I'm the this and the that. And it's like, but we were there. We had some part in it because we were there, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about, in situations of abuse, that's a different thing, but I'm talking about
yeah,
just everyday kind of things like that. It's like we still play our part, and it doesn't mean fault or blame. It just means we were there too, and then we can take a deeper look, like, why did I allow that, or why did I do that, or why didn't I speak up for myself? Where did that come from? Why did, how could I improve this in the future, so we can use our experiences and make them more positive, which, from what spirit has always taught me, nothing is negative if you find a way to make it positive. If you find something beautiful to make out of it, you find something good to do with it, then you've alchemized it, right? That's how we're ascending, that's how we're transforming. So it's all about that. So it's not about like blaming, ourselves, or going into that uh I'm a bad person, so we can take responsibility for behaviors or unhealed patterns, things we didn't know about ourselves, ways of responding, ways of communicating. Take responsibility for that. It takes back the power into you, so you don't feel kind of like that in victim mode. But then it's like putting the action in place to learn and try to do better and keep growing
yeah,
from it.
yeah. I think the number one thing is just like, are we aware? Are we aware, and are we taking responsibility for our choices? Because there's
Yeah.
so many choices to make, and there's so many energies that
Yeah.
do influence and commingle with us. It's really what it means to be human. The more and more I become like a medium, a healer, a psychic in my understanding, I go, oh my goodness, we're never separate from one another. It's just a
Yep.
matter of how we are understanding how we are and taking responsibility for our
Hmm.
actions. Whether it's
Yeah.
I can't even say the word, ancestral, influence, um, or something else. It's very, very interesting. It's very, very interesting. I want to go
Yeah.
to like a kind of a question up top, and please,
Hmm.
we're opening up the space for questions, and then we're going to open up the space for maybe some connections to later on, when we're getting close to closing. The show's going right really fast. um And I want to just go up to the top. Let's see, where is it? Where was it? So I think this is very much in relation to
Yeah.
what we're talking about. So Aspen was talking about, I was so emotional. My energy was everywhere. Because we're talking about grounding and, how we're sensitive and how we share energy and what to do with that. I feel like I ruined one connection um, um, that we talked about. So she's referencing something in the past. And really, I'm going to just say one thing and I'm going to give it over to you, Jennifer. Like, you can't ruin what's meant for you. You really can't. It's like that whole authenticity talk that we had. You got to do the best you can, and then you see what comes from that, whether it's in the moment or later. You just do the best you can, and you're gonna get what needs to happen. But in the vein of her being emotional and her going, oh my gosh, I'm trying to figure it out, to ground, and also I feel like I've had consequences for being emotional. How would you respond to that with guiding her energy?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Aspen. I just want to give you love, and so I'm so sorry that you had that experience too. And it's hard being women. We are naturally more emotional because we're feminine. It's just how we're built too. And then we've got hormones as well that we have to think about too. And we just had a full moon, and so if you could please just give yourself some grace, instead of like you know thinking bad on yourself because you had a bad moment, and just give yourself some grace for that too, and just give yourself some rest. I just feel like rest would be good. But we are an endless sea of emotions. It's what our human experience is. Without them, we're not us. We're not human. We're robots. And so please allow yourself to be that. You are very sensitive. Your channel is very open, and it's not that you need to change that, but again, doing some grounding for yourself would be really helpful. And then you can just take some time to compassionately kind of look at what happened. Who was that in me? Where did that come from? Is this something from the past? Is this a pattern that I can um, shoot from the hip? And that's what I told him. That's what we're meant to feel so deeply on being human as a soul. Yeah. And so chances are that person that you were interacting with probably felt, a little bit attacked or criticized. And so you can take responsibility and you can give an apology and give your action plan for how you're going to try to do better. But hopefully, you can have some compassion from the other side too, because I do kind of feel sometimes if everything was perfect in everything relationship, if we were just getting along all the time, would we be growing together? We might be having fun, but would we be growing? Would we be evolving together and getting into the deeper layers of us? So what if, because we are spirits, so what if our higher self just kind of turned a little switch and said, let's rock the boat a little bit and see how we do. Give us a little test. And it's not just a test for ourselves, but it's a test as a couple too for how we're responding to each other, how we're going to handle those situations. And because that's when we really kind of get challenged to see, how invested we really are, how involved we really are, or can we stay the course, or make it through that and things like that. So what we learn from that, what I would just recommend is just to not maybe make any decisions too quickly and just let things kind of settle down and give each other some space, and give yourself some compassion and some healing, for yourself too. And we can say prayers for each other, but I just feel like just rest. I just keep hearing rest. Give yourself rest. I get chills, Aspen, with that, like major full body chills, because they just keep saying rest, because I just feel like you've beaten yourself up too much, and just rest and make some connection with some friends, that you can talk to that can help hold space for you. I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, I think you like really hit it on the head with like the rest part. We put so much pressure on ourselves, especially when we want things to
Mhm.
go well. And I do feel like, her energy is like, if we can just, resolve the situation, if we could just resolve this, I just
Mhm.
want it to be good, right? Like,
Mhm.
just can we please have the resolvement? And it's just like you shared what you needed to share. This had to come into effect. And I feel like with the way that we love and need to be loved as souls, we can't just say, like, okay, I hope it all comes from this one person. So to rest and to, have our friends come in, have our family come in, whoever we love already and who loves us already, and say, let me give you some energy. Let me give you some energy. And this won't pull at you the same way. You can kind of see it for what it is and say, I love this person too. I think they're amazing. And sure, I just was meaning well. I was just being myself. But it's important to step back. It's important to step
Yeah.
back. And we deal with things so many different ways, where somebody might
Hmm.
go, what are you doing? Why would you do it like that? And you're like, I'm just being myself.
Right.
Just be
You're being
myself.
yourself in that moment, that one part of yourself in that moment too, because
Yeah.
there's so many other parts too. And so, and chances are something made you feel unsafe or something made you feel stressed out. And then also when we're in the more masculine, we're in the doing and the thinking and the trying to solve the problem too, and so for you to help you like get back into your feminine where you can just kind of be receptive of that healing and that love and allow him to come to you, that will be very helpful, but it's hard to do when you're stressed out and you're so worried about everything. So that's why the rest, helping you to calm your energies down, helping you to be so you can be back in that receptive mode, and that creates some spaciousness between you and your partner, right? And so, but also understand we learn from each other when we're reflecting things. So, and a lot of relationships we trigger in each other things that happened from the past. And we have to be aware of that our reactions are not all about what that person has done. That's probably a very infinitesimal part of it. And it's everything before that that's gotten moved, and we may not even be aware of what that is. So that's where the personal responsibility comes in to say, whoa, where did that come from? Where did I get that from? Who was that? What's going on? So being attention to your present moment and physiology and present set of circumstances, but then also what's going on back there. And that's where you can go in that journey of really like yourself. And so a lot of times you will see Aspen and everybody else on here, you will see a lot of focus saying in relationships, take your focus back onto yourself, because we have to learn us to help us be in a partnership with other people. And then the more we learn us, the more we can help to understand that other person too. But really just remember at the end of the day, we all need to feel safe and we all need to matter and we need to be able to communicate that with each other. So if you're wondering, Aspen, what can I do? First, get yourself to feel safe and to feel like you matter. And then to make sure your partner feels safe when you speak to him and let him know that he matters.
Peace and love on that. Yeah. We
Yeah.
have to feel like we matter. We have to feel like we matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you
Um,
don't feel safe, your nervous system's out here. You've got to you've got to feel safe so that you can speak in a calm, respective manner.
and it's not just, we sometimes think, oh, the woman doesn't feel safe, but the man's not going to feel safe either, right?
Men
And
are
they'll be like,
very
oh, no,
sensitive.
I gotta go,
Uh-huh. Men
like, I'm
are
not available
very
right now.
sensitive. I know men are very sensitive, and us women forget that. And that's what I get frustrated because there's a lot of rigid stuff out there on social media geared towards women. And I'm just like, the guys are just as sensitive as we are, and they have to hide it more because they're out, they got to go out there and face a lot of stuff to provide for their families and be this strong person all the time. And it's like, at least as girls, like we're allowed to cry when we're little, boys aren't always allowed to do that. You know what I mean? And so they have to hide it all in there under all this armor, and it's like, have a little compassion for each other too. Remember
Yeah,
that, the other person is not our enemy. We only act that way when we don't feel safe. Right.
it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Um, there's many different ways where we're trying to just come back to ourselves. And again, this like whole show has been like, are we in our energy and do we feel like ourselves? And do we feel
Mhm.
comfortable? Do we feel safe? And how are the circumstances around us? How are the people around us contributing to that?
Mhm.
Or what are we giving to others to feel that as well? I think that's really been the theme of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
So what do you say we open up some, like pull some cards, open up if people want to ask some life questions or some spiritual development questions, we're happy to go into those departments wherever we feel we're drawn to. But just pull a couple of cards and have some fun and get into some energy. What do you say?
I would love to.
All right.
Let's
Okay.
do
So
it.
everybody who's open to a reading, please put it down in the comments. We will go to people who are open for a message and open for a reading. That's how we pick people, and that's how we do on this show. So with that said, all right, opening up the space.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to grab somebody, and then do you want to go? You can decide if you want to extend on that or just grab someone else. You get to
Sounds good.
decide wherever
Yeah.
you want to go, however you want
Okay.
to go. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go to Iris right here.
Iris.
Hi,
We love
Iris.
Iris.
Okay. Getting into the energy. Let's see what's coming up. Okay. All right. So when I'm in your energy, kind of where I'm at right now is there's a lot of things still settling. There's a lot of things still settling. And I feel like emotionally, there's a lot of things that you're still processing. And as I kind of look into the energy further and I see some of the cards that I'm pulling, there has been a lot of change in a very small amount of time. So if you can understand this, in the past 2 years, there has been a lot of changes within relationship, within family, within how you're going about your understanding of what you want and what you will allow in your life. Okay. And so the good thing is that times are here to change. You're settling, you're making space for that. You're not in a place where you're like, okay, all right, I'm ready. I got it. Like I said, it's still settling. So be patient with yourself and really allow yourself to sit with your thoughts and your feelings. I feel like you do this already. And let's see. Here we go. I'm pulling you up. Okay. I feel like you do this a lot. I'm gonna read a comment in just a second. I'm just aware. I'm like seeing you. I feel like I'm like in your living room or your family room, and I'm sitting, and you're like I'm sitting. I'm aware of how I feel. I'm aware of kind of where my thoughts are at. So you are becoming more aware, but it's like heavy. Like the energy is caked on you, and it's almost like I want to pluck you out of that environment. And I'm like, go somewhere really quiet. Create like a beautiful atmosphere for yourself. Change the energy. Get more deeper into the energy, not just the anger and I know how this feels. Get into why it happened. Get into what you needed to learn. Get into how it made it feel in your body. So I'm taking you to the invitation to go deeper, because there's all this energy that wants to come out, and it's ready to come out. And you're really in a place where you do have family to kind of help support you as you go through the changes a little bit, if you can understand this, but it is time to pull yourself away and at times and protect your vibration and to nurture it. It's time to nurture you, okay? And to understand how to go deeper. So whether you need a teacher or whether you're going to teach yourself, I want you to feel differently and experience deeper. It's going to open everything up, okay? Yes. And so it's the invitation to change the way you do alone time. Okay. I want you to add some more things and see and ask yourself some more questions. And I want you to answer yourself when you ask yourself these questions. That's going to give you the next step, Okay. All right. Because Spirit's really telling me, I'm going to hand this over to Jennifer right after. Spirit's really telling me, like, you are ready to listen and you're ready to work this way. And that's why we're highlighting these things for you. It is time. Okay. You're connected to Spirit enough where it is time. Okay. All right.
That was beautiful, Kelly. So Iris, hey girl. So the card I pulled for you, it's from the Healing Waters Oracle deck from Rebecca Campbell. Really, really beautiful. So I'm going to put that up so you can see it close. I know it's not mirrored properly, but it's called the Water Carrier. What really matters? Reflect, reprioritize. So that matches exactly what Kelly was saying too. And so all I would add to that is, besides, I do feel like taking time actually by the water down on the beach. I think you're on the coastline or you're close to the beach where you can get and have that time, because I just feel like the ocean would be very healing for you. The sunsets, the walking in the sand, I can just feel like your feet buried in the sand, and that will help you to kind of like ground those energies, because we are in the 3D reality, biochemical, electric beings that need to be able to ground those energies into the earth. And that also helps us to feel better too. Also, just from some practical standpoints too, you can, kind of put everything you have on your plate, literally on a piece of paper like it's a plate. What can I take off the plate for now, so that you can reprioritize when it comes to people? You're the center, and then the most important people are the circle around you, and then so forth and so forth, so you can understand where you can allocate your energy. So we don't want to be putting all our energy in the outer circle when it can be on the inner circle, to the people that are like the closest to us, if that makes sense. And then with all of the different projects and things that you can go, put them down, put your goals down, and then break them into smaller chunks, and then pick out sort of what you can focus on. So to kind of get things like mentally organized for you, because it does feel like we got a lot of solar plexus stuff going on. You're very forward movement thinking. You're trying to get stuff done. And it does get overwhelming, because I'm in the same boat. So I'm really having to kind of like organize it all so I can know what to focus on. Otherwise, I'll shut down if it gets too overwhelming. So that's when you have to be able to take smaller steps and do it. So I feel like that will be helpful for you, Iris. So lots of love to you, darling.
Cool. And she says she can understand needing to go by the water. You're bringing
Perfect.
that up. You're like, I feel like
Mhm.
there's water close to you. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. She can totally take it. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna have you. She's something else. Makes total sense. I'm always doing for others. These energies are getting me overwhelmed. She says.
Yeah. You got to take a step back. It's just taking a step back. This is the natural, flow of things that we all do. We expand, and we got a whole bunch of things going on, and then we contract. We have to bring it in. We have to integrate it. We have to reprocess, recharge our battery, and then we can go back out in the world again. Have you ever seen those memes where you're like, okay, this is the 35,187th spiritual awakening, and someone's like,
Oh, yeah. It's not over.
I'm ready. Oh my gosh. We gotta laugh at this stuff too. It gets comical after a while, because I would say God can throw so many curveballs to you all at once. Every time, after a while, you just start laughing, because it's like you're still here, you're still standing. Okay, I'm still alive. The sun is still shining. It just gets funny after a while. Oh my God.
It's never ending. It's pretty comical. It's never ending, right? Like I
After a while,
have
that's all you can do is laugh, because you're out of heartache, you're out of despair, you're out of stress and over. All you can do is laugh after a while, and it teaches you to lighten up, I guess, a little bit. It's not easy either.
Oh, and she's saying that's me. Very good.
All of us. Oh my gosh.
Just find herself back to the drawing board. Find herself back to the drawing board. Okay, so Jennifer, I'm gonna have you pick next where you want to go.
Okay. All right. Da, 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 da.
Curveballs
Let's see.
always, absolutely, absolutely, and the loading screen, waiting for things to buffer.
I remember having a dream like early on in my development, and I literally had a dream that those fireballs, like I was out on some mountain and there were like fireballs coming out, and I didn't know what it meant. And then I think it was a what do you call it, a precursor to spiritual awakening. Like, we're just gonna throw it all at you at once, and you'll find out how strong you are, Jennifer. Like, oh my God. Okay.
True.
Let me see. Courtney. Courtney, can we do you? Can we give you a message, love?
Oh yeah, I think
How you
she said she
doing?
was open before. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, darling. Let's see what we have for you. So Courtney, you've got a lot of beautiful, lovely violet light around you. So I know that you've been really like working on your spiritual connection. I do feel like you've got a grandmother here that's very guide-like for you, that comes in is also a supporting force, and she's kind of putting like a, like a little shawl around your shoulder so that you can feel just kind of like warm and safe. So she brings a lot of this like really sweet, nurturing, loving energy to you too. I feel like she just wants to like take you into her kitchen and put you at the little table and just like feed you tea and cookies and things like that too. I'm getting a sense of music. I can see piano playing being played in my awareness. And so I'm aware that music would be very important to you as well. I also am being very drawn to my solar plexus as well. So I know that you're taking a lot of learning and knowledge, and then you're trying to channel that and put it all together for yourself. So I feel like you're doing a really good job. You're really on track, and you've got everything going just right for you. I do get the numbers 555. So I know that there's been a lot of change and transformation for you also. I'm also getting some cards like let it rain, allowing what is, inevitability, trust. I'm getting let it go, release the past, forgive, soften, move forward. So that just kind of lets me know that you're sort of moving into that next phase. Like you're really like coming to, close to kind of like the end of a cycle. And that 555 is showing that you're moving into the next one. It feels very lovely for you too. I see just a beautiful rainbow of light for you too. And I hear spirit saying to you, that the stars you see over the horizon are much closer than you think, because the light that is shining upon you is created by you shining upon it. So that is what spirit has just said for you, Miss Courtney. So there's your little rhyme and riddle for the day from spirit. It's quite beautiful.
Well, as you were saying that little rhyme and riddle, I was just seeing,
Mm.
like a light
Mhm.
beam touching on her, and
Yeah.
um, I just feel like she's very connected. She's very
Mhm.
connected,
Mhm.
and it's not just because she has the curiosity. It's because of she's in that energy. She's seeking that energy, and
Yeah.
she's become that energy. So
Mhm.
she's a lot more sensitive to feeling spirit, communicating with spirit. Okay. What is she saying? Yes, transitioning and almost don't. Yes. Um, and then she said,
I
"I
think she
need
meant
those
almost
that are."
done, right? Yeah. I mean, and that's how you know you got the. We some of us girls we call it Big G. It's like when he starts talking in riddles.
She said, "Well, I mean, like the riddle has a feeling behind it." She says, "I felt a hug from heaven when you
Yeah,
said the
exactly. You're
place
beautiful.
in the
Yeah,
soul."
because we're approaching this all in love and light and all of that too, but we know that change is not easy, and it's definitely showing you that you have been, this very strong tree, grounded and connected, and you've been trying to like sway with the wind. But your grandma comes in and says, I have you too. We have you too. Spirit comes in, we have you too, to hold you so that you can feel hugged too, because you're giving a lot of hugs to everybody else. We can see in the comments how supportive you are of everybody. So you're doing your hugging all the time too. So now we get to hug you. So everybody here, give Courtney a hug.
Right, that's right. We're giving you a hug. We're
Mm,
giving you a hug.
yeah.
Um, I definitely feel like, yeah, she's like a little fairy, busy bee energy. And you were talking about the 555s, and I'm just like that felt like the busy bee energy too. Like she's just popping around, and she like tries to infuse her light. And there's like a very much of a sweetness, and I felt all this like lavender energy around her. And like
Yeah, me
for me,
too.
that's someone who's very imaginative, and who's been like that since they were young. Um, and they've just they're able to, like, let's say, get in touch with fantasy. They're able to get in touch with the lighter realms, the more I guess I'll say it, like artistic and imaginative sides of life. I'll
Yes.
just use the word imagine. I just want to keep using the word
Hmm. I know.
imaginative.
I love that. Yeah.
And
Where
so
else would we want to be? That's the best place to be. It's my favorite.
yeah, I mean, yeah, some people are very natural there. So I feel like she's
Yeah,
been very
yeah.
natural there, and that's where she can go in her mind. right? And then she's
Yeah.
been cultivating that outside of her heart and trying to give love to people and encourage people. And you're talking about like grandma energy, and I feel like, you know, the grandma energy that comes in, she has a softness too. So there's like a gentleness that runs in like the family, on one side of the family, with the moms, with the
Hmm.
grandmothers, and you know, they
Yeah.
wanted to caretake, they wanted to give, they wanted to
Hmm.
offer. And so Courtney is really extending the olive branch within that of how can I
Yeah.
love, how can I serve. That's really cool. And
Yeah.
then
It
she's
feels
talking
like
about
she's
her,
resonating with everything. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so just you know, Jennifer already talked about it. Like, you know, there's a light that comes down for you. Just continue to you know that that light is for you because you've cultivated that light. You know, the light's not just coming down because it comes down. You've cultivated that vibration. You've cultivated that light. So I think that's very, very
Absolutely.
beautiful. Um,
Hmm.
I get all of a sudden like an Easter basket, and sometimes when I get an Easter basket, it's like people from the spirit world acknowledging traditions of Easter, loving Easter. And so there's great excitement from the spirit world for celebrating Easter this year and family coming together. Um, and it's the message that I get is you don't have to worry about it being enough. You don't have to worry about it being enough. Just show up with your smile. That's enough. And it's okay if people don't show up. It's almost like there's a worry of lack. Like like I don't know why, but it's almost a worry of like, am I doing enough? Are enough people going to show up? There's almost like there's difficulty getting everybody together for Easter, or you know, people are not going to be present, and the plans are different than what it would like to look like. And it's just like, don't worry about that. You know, everything. The people that need to show up within family, even like the friends, I feel like some friends would trickle in to be a part of the family celebration too. Everybody that needs to be there is going to be there. Life, like, will make sure of it. Okay. And you're talking about grandma would do an Easter breakfast and she's connected to Easter tradition. Okay. And you work, don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. So grandma's helping to facilitate things from the spirit world. All your other family members are, you are too. Just enjoy. Just enjoy it as it comes. It will unfold the way that it needs to. Okay. And what you do is enough. And don't be afraid to invite people over to your house and share your version of tradition. Okay. I feel like you feel like it wouldn't be enough, or you feel like you wouldn't do it sometimes as well as you want it to. Can you understand this, Courtney? And I feel like, don't worry, it's going to
Yeah.
be enough. Don't worry, it's going to be enough. Okay. I think you can understand that. I think you can
Yeah.
understand that. Um,
Yeah.
she's given some love. I'm just popping down a
Hmm.
couple of things, my love. I'm popping down
Hmm.
a couple of things. Okay.
And Courtney, I wanted to give you diamonds too. They were going to give you diamonds, so just take that as a gift from Spirit as well, just to remind you of your brilliance. I feel like that's really important. It's also, I wanted to give you the Chasing Cars song. It's one of my favorites as well, but I was hearing that for you, so you might want to put that on, from Snow Patrol. Really, really beautiful song, but I was hearing that for you as well, that you might get a message out of that before. But remember, you know, the last verse, all that I am, all that I ever was, is here in your perfect eyes. That's all I can see. So take that into your heart, babe. It'll be a beautiful Easter.
It would,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. We love you, Courtney. We're sending you so much love. All
Yeah.
right, let's pick one more
Yeah.
um to bounce to. We'll make it quick. Would you like to choose, or would you like for
You go
me
ahead.
on?
You go ahead,
Okay.
Kelly. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. There was somebody up top. Where are you? All right. Wait, I'm just gonna go there then. Okay. All right, Jesse. Jesse,
Oh.
Jesse. All right, let's see what comes in for you, Jesse. And just jump in, Jennifer, if you want to. I'm just getting kind of
Mhm.
the cards and the energy ready. You just
Yeah.
okay. So, Jesse, I do feel like you have a sharp mind, and you're very artistic. You're very creative, and I feel like you're like in this flow of of creating. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of scroll down too, because I have you up on screen. You're back in your creative flow, because sometimes it's on, it's off, it's in different directions. But I feel like I'm back in my creative flow, and I feel like I'm feeling like an aspect of my confidence coming back to me. I'm stronger too. So Jesse, if you're still here, let us know. I know we've been popping in and out, and sometimes people, popping in and out. So we might actually jump to someone who is still here if you're not still here. But Jesse will give you a quick message. I don't know if he's still here. But Jesse, it's basically like lining up. Oh, you are here. Okay, cool. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. I'm seeing like a pack of playing cards, okay? And it's kind of like having like arranging things for the perfect shuffle. You can only have that if you're meticulous, okay? So in areas, do the pre-planning, do the work, know what you need to do, and then in other areas, let the cards fall where they fall. Let the cards just shuffle and produce the hand that you are given. You can't control everything. You can't control always the best circumstances. It's okay. Let things come to you. And I feel like that is involved, if you can understand that, with job and friends. So there's been the job situations that are not the perfect circumstance, and friend situations that are not the perfect circumstance. But even though you're like still actively, like I'm trying to do this, I'm asserting, I'm trying to, have conversations with people. I'm trying to make the best outcomes, and yet I'm still getting these situations. And then you can understand that about what I said about confidence earlier. Great. And it's just like, don't let these things ruffle your feathers. Okay. Just know like, hey, I'm putting the energy out there, and I'm going to get what comes to me. So like what I said is the cards are going to fall where they fall, and you've been more confident and sharp, and you have your creative fire. I feel like work is going to even out, and you're actually going to be approached. Okay. It's almost like you're like trying to have someone scout you or find you. Okay. Because you're like, I need this. I want people to notice I have this talent. I want people to notice that I can do this. You will be found. Just keep showing up every day, whether it's like posting almost every day, or talking about every day, or showing people your work in some capacity every day. I'm just aware of you have to be seen. So you've stepped into the confidence. Get talking, get busy. Someone's going to find you to offer you something better. Okay, you have to be seen. And then with your friends, it's kind of like tell them that you're not going to entertain things if you've given them nothing but love, and you've given them nothing but a clear opinion, and it's like they're not entertaining things, they're just talking in circles, they're not appreciative. Let them know like, hey, I'm really, really busy right now working on my growth. Okay. I want you to take some time to hear what I said. It hasn't changed. And you give them some time. So hopefully you can understand that. And I'm going to send that over to Jennifer. So it's just, the work is paying off. That's what I'm trying to say, Jesse. The work is paying off.
Okay, that was just so beautiful. I don't know what to add to that, except I did get a couple cards. You talked about being in the flow, the creative flow, and that right when you were saying that, I picked ride the waves, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. So that was very appropriate too. And then I also got the ripple effect. So as far as your spiritual development and growing your confidence, it says part of something bigger and details are taken care of. So that just reminds you that you're not having to do it all alone, that you have help, that your higher self helps you, your guides help you, the divine helps you, your loved ones help you, and then the people that you know and trust, you can ask them for help as well. And then just remember, with all that love that you're giving out, to give it to yourself too. And a good mantra is, I am whole and complete as I am in this moment, and I'm willing to keep growing, because you keep unfolding into that completeness even more. There's always more for you to keep discovering about yourself, but you're whole and complete as you are right now. That will help you to kind of like center yourself and get your energy back into you again too. And then that helps you to integrate and be more receptive to having the guidance from your higher self and spirit to come through your channel for you too. You're doing a great job though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll leave you with that.
Yeah. His energy feels really good, and I keep getting, whether he knows it, he already knows it, or he doesn't, like he has a skill that people want to pay him for.
Yeah.
like he will get approached like with what he's working on with his
Hmm.
natural talents. Like put yourself
Right.
out
Right. And that's, having the confidence to believe that you have something that people want will really helpful. And you can channel that too. You can, if you're going in for an interview, if you're going in for a meeting or you're something like that, stop before you walk in and or before you go on that Zoom and channel your confident self because it's in you already, and just make the intention to channel that in. Give yourself 10 minutes and saying, I want to channel my confident self. And then what I also like to teach people too is when you're going into a space, get into your like Superman, Superwoman pose, right? Where you're putting your hands on your hip and your chin is up and you're moving forward. So you just kind of walk in like, like you got this, you own the place, you're the CEO. And that can be very different from how sensitive people are used to behaving, right? But you're channeling your confident energy and then you walk in with presence. And then people go, wow, okay, this is someone to pay attention to, so it's a great skill. We just have to remember to do it. I forget myself, but it's a great skill. But Spirit just reminded me of that for you, to just kind of but do that. And it's like it makes a big difference. I used to do this in my in-person classes when we were doing my energy classes, and we would do a walk into the room before and walk into the room after, and people were floored by the difference in the
there.
energy and
Ooh,
how it
that's
felt,
cool.
and the smile would come up on the face and everybody would be clapping for them, and it was so cool. It was just the best.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Like I totally
Yeah.
believe in that, and that is a
Hmm.
real thing.
Yeah.
But to have actual class where you can see the
Yeah.
before and after, that's so cool.
Yeah, it really was. And it worked every time.
I believe it. I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give yourself enough time to be in your power.
Hmm.
Yeah, beautiful words, Jennifer.
Hmm.
Beautiful words. Okay. So with that said, all right. All right. I think we are going to just naturally say thank you to everybody. I want to make sure
Hmm.
that people can find you too. So, where can people come to get a reading or to see what events that you have posted? What are your favorite platforms you want to share with people?
Yeah, thank you. So on my website, mediumjenniferrose.com, you can fill in a contact form to inquire about private sessions with me as well. And I do have my events on there as well coming up too. But some things I post on social media and they don't always make it on my website. So it's good to look for both. So I'm on Instagram, Jennifer Rose Medium. No added punctuation or anything. It's just Jennifer Rose Medium, and on Facebook Medium Jennifer Rose. So they flip flop. There's a few other practitioners with the same name as me. So if you see infinity logos on my posts, you know that that's mine. So it makes it a little bit easier. Just look for the infinities. You'll find me.
Absolutely. And I'm popping down your Facebook right now. I posted your
Thank
website
you.
earlier. So
Thank you,
people,
darling.
yes, absolutely. Look in the comments and you can go to her
Mhm.
page or her website. Absolutely. A lot of wonderful options to connect with Jennifer Rose. So
Thank you, Miss
before we,
Melinda.
oh yeah, she's such a sweetheart. Hey, Melinda.
Mhm.
Um, Before we go, I always give guests the last word. So what is something that comes to you, whether off the cuff or a favorite saying or something from your heart that you would wish others to know? Oh, there you go.
Okay, I'm here. I was just taking a sip of water. I'm just going to channel a little something quick. Does that sound good? We'll see how it turns out.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes, please. We love channeling.
Mm-hmm. I just feel as the spirit is just giving us a gentle reminder that we come from a source of absolute and perfect love. And when we can remember this about ourselves, we can fall back into the light that we own, that is us, that is our portal to the infinite, and to remember that in our lives, through the good and the bad, the joy and the sorrow, nothing has gone wrong because there is always a higher purpose to everything. And as long as we set the intention to keep loving with our highest capacity possible and to keep making good out of that which has been hard, we have won the game already. And we are continually unfolding. We are continually blossoming. We are continually transforming. And our songs just get better and better each and every day. All you have to do is remember that you are love and that you are loved, and all will be well. There you go.
Thank you. All will be well, surely, when we are around such lovely people such as you, Jennifer. Thank you for being with us here today. Thank you, everybody in the comment section, Christy, Stacia, Melinda, everybody, Fran, Jesse, Debbie. Thank you, everybody, for being with us here today. We're overwhelmed with your love. With
Yeah.
that said, please, Jennifer. Yes.
I just want to say thank you for everybody, all our friends and everybody that are on today supporting us. I love all of you so much too. And I know a lot of my really close friends are here too. And I just want to thank you for all of your love and support, because we've known each other for a very long time and have been support systems for each other. And without them, I wouldn't be able to be me, because I've received so much love and care, and I'm truly, truly blessed. And then I keep getting to meet new people that come on as well and make, new friends and family, because everybody is a new friend. Everybody is a new member of the family for all of us here, because we're a community. We just come together in a space of love. So yeah, we're very lucky. We're very blessed.
So much support. Thank you, everybody. We will see you on Friday for the reading show. Again, thank you, Jennifer Rose, for being with us here today. Please go with love, luck, light, everybody, and don't forget to live. See you on Friday. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.